Ranged heroes and lords, for the most part, are generally not amazing, but in the hands of the right players, certainly something hybrid, like the Handmaiden, of course, with their anti-large, can get some work done against a faction like the Beastmen, where that anti-large is definitely going to be applicable, and they also can do a little bit of skirmish damage against some certain targets. Here, Rada Rohan's going to open up against SCP's Minotaurs. They do have shields, but nonetheless, a couple of handmaidens there. Got the Everqueen herself, Alariel, so very thematic, excuse me, and an appropriate build. They are, of course, protecting her. We've got some spearmen in the front line, silver and guard in the back, and a nice defensive, aggressive diamond. Love it. Lyrian Reavers, and then, yeah, the archers have light armor, which is nice. Doombull here, Gorbel, Ungor Spearman Herd. Got a Bray Shaman Lore of Wild, looking for some Traderkins to do some low entity damage. Actually, not a lot of great targets in this build, other than maybe trying to hit the Handmaidens with it. Got some Razorgore Chariots as well. Got some Goreherd with shields to protect against some ranged damage. Centaurs there, more Razorgore Chariots. Let's get things rolling. Not too surprising, a lot of people these days basically go full anti-large against the Beastmen, considering a lot of their best units are large, or they do have some decent infantry as well, but just given their playstyle. Gonna pile up here on the Spearmen in the front line. You can see they do form some gaps, managed to get to the archers, the light armor in the back line. Lyrian Reavers gonna try to reposition up through, kind of screen archers there as they pull back. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Handmaidens. They're 2v1 against the Gorbel. One of them is Doombull, rather. Gorbel is distracted over there. They have taken a bit of damage, it looks like. One of them in particular got absolutely pummeled, almost down to 50%, but stabilized things with some healing, and right now they are sort of winning. Value trade-wise, they're definitely winning, and a big Star of Avalon is going to come out as a critical character engagement plays out very early on in the battle. We're barely 2 minutes in. This is already a super important engagement as to how this battle is going to play out overall. Yeah, the fact that Gorbel's just not helping is a big problem. The Beastman player really needs to get Gorbel just rear charge there, that Handmaiden, and that would equalize things pretty significantly. That being said, taking a look at the rest of the battlefield here, the archers were not able to be screened very effectively here. The Beastmen mobile rush, able to get up and around the flanks, pretty much get a full surround going, and the Razorgore Chariots are actually doing a really nice job here, basically unimpeded in terms of their mass. It looks like, if I swing my camera around, it might be a tiny bit disorienting, but yeah, it looks like most of the Razorgore Chariots are actually getting through. Their armor is high enough as well. If they're going to take, well, they've taken massive damage, at least this unit. The other unit doing okay. But still, yeah, 235 kills already, basically paid for itself in a relatively short amount of time. Maybe people have been sleeping on the Razorgore Chariots. Historically, they've been one of the best chariots throughout the life cycle of Warhammer 1, 2, and 3. So, especially Warhammer 1, I used them to extremely good effect. In Warhammer 2, they were still good, but, you know, the Tuskors came out and they were the hot new thing for a while. But anyway, yeah, Doombull here and Gorbel, once they kind of form up and actually fight as a unit, are going to be quite formidable. And this other Handmaiden also kind of gets screened away. A Traderkin also pops at this moment. So, yeah, this one Handmaiden is definitely a danger of just being absolutely destroyed here. The other Handmaiden also gets pummeled by Gorbel. That day's contact effect doing some pretty good work here, putting in, you know, debuffing the enemy's melee defense, even with martial prowess still somehow active. I guess it's up to 25% now. I just get that. Oh, leadership. I know that. I'm looking at Primal Fury. Well, yeah. 25% HP. So that is going to drop basically then. But nonetheless, speed of the Elven Steed allows the Handmaidens to get away. Let's see if they're able to rally here with some healing, come back, maybe win this. It's looking pretty grim right now, as most of the rest of the build has been summarily destroyed. Yeah. Spearmen rallying in some pockets here. The Alariel's got a handful of Silverins protecting here. Archers with light armor mostly done for, especially given Beastmen's mobility advantage. They can, yeah, they can do it a little bit here. They can chase some routing units and just generally apply the pressure to finish off the battle. That being said, one benefit of the Handmaidens is that with their ranged attacks, obviously, excuse me, they can stand at range while Alariel heals them in a situation like this and continue to generate value with that nice little flaming armor-piercing ranged attack here. You can see them kind of picking away at the Bray Shaman. They could also maybe finish the Doom Bowl here. So if he wants to chase, they can absolutely just kite, even put on fire at will, or issue a specific attack order. One, while the other kites just fire in at the high-value target of the Doom Bowl. But yeah, right now, Rider Rohan's actually not using his ammo. I'm not sure why. But definitely just shoot the Doom Bowl here if you can. I guess he's trying to rally over to whatever's left of these spears here. More Earthbloods here, just healing the infantry. Considering how many unit models are left alive, they're basically going to get max efficiency from that, so it makes sense. Doom Bowl is moving over to try and finish Alariel. Looks like the Minotaurs basically just came in, the Handmaidens rather, came in and tried and finish the Minotaurs. Another Star of Avalorn being popped here. Again, on the Silverins, I don't know how much damage they're taking just because their melee defense is high enough that at late stage of the battle that everything's exhausted. Doesn't have a ton of melee attack, although I guess it is still Beastmen, but still, mostly just to heal Alariel herself. Would have been maybe nice to get that on the Handmaidens, but they're close enough to their healing cap that you might have been overhealing a little bit in that situation. Nonetheless, they kind of pull back once more. There's a little Earthblood. Perfectly timed to get them ready to go. And once again, Rider Rohan's experience coming through. He's able to kind of rally his troops, get together in some favorable engagements, and kind of finish off some of these Beastmen mobility units that were lurking. Therefore guaranteeing his own units, if they rout, they're not going to be at as much threat of just getting chased off. And certainly the Handmaidens with enough ammunition here, they maybe could have put enough leadership damage on the Doom Bowl. I mean, the difference in even just a couple of shots, if they were been able to land there in that transition time, it's a very small thing, but I mean, Rider Rohan's probably in position to... Oh, he's certainly given himself a chance to win here. Let's see how it plays out. Right now, the Elven healing and leadership is going to start to come through against the Beastmen, who lack in both. Their initial aggression having worn off, it's gonna favor the High Elves to a degree, but yeah, King and Country indeed. Ooh, this Handmaiden is gonna get routed as Doom Bowl gets a critical charge in there. The other Handmaiden is off the field. Yeah. Ooh, tricky. This might not be enough. Yeah, Gorbel is looking very, very strong right now with about 50% of his HP. Might have been a mistake not to use up that little bit of ammunition then. There's a little bit of ammunition. They have actually quite a bit left, so just in general. This one is going to come back from rout. Elven leadership might give her a chance still to contribute with her bow at range. Landing whatever shots she can. Yeah, she can maybe finish off Doom Bowl. Or even just put some extra hurt on Gorbel. Yeah, Doom Bowl's less than 1,000 HP. Definitely is within range to be killed. But unfortunately, their animations where they kind of roll and dodge quite a bit does make them relatively hard to hit. But let's get in close. Haven't got a ton of cinematics, honestly, throughout this battle. Alariel's going to get some fancy pirouettes. Handmaiden out there in the distance. Yeah, not really shooting. I don't know. There's a shot. There's a shot. Ooh, does hit on Gorbel. Doom Bowl routes to the spears regardless. Those Silverin Guard just standing sturdy. Alariel does get routed here as well. Ooh, it's going to be very, very close. If Alariel gets fully killed here, that's a problem. But oh no, the other Handmaiden is still alive. Okay, she's just out there either getting chased or, yeah, whatever. But the fact she's here is absolutely critical. Yeah, the Doom Bowl actually just gets slain by this Handmaiden in the pursuit, which is a huge swing. that is going to put a huge leadership spike in the Beastmen. So even these units which remain, they're going to be very, very apt to just rout. Over here, you can see even Gorbel, rather. His leadership is affected. Ooh, little over the shoulder swing and a miss there. L'Ariel sneaks away as her Silverin Guards screen once more. Maybe. She might have just eaten that charged attack there. And she gets up. She's got 5 HP left. One more attack animation and she is done. So the Handmaidens didn't exactly fulfill their objective of protecting the Ever Queen. But... Yep. She just gets rolled on and teabagged by Gorbel. That is definitely not protecting the Ever Queen, guys. But at least they'll avenge her. They'll come back 5 turns wounded, both in pride and in game. Anyway, yeah, at this point, Gorbel probably gets kited to death. I don't know. There is a chance that the High Elven leadership just decides to nope, considering the Ever Queen is gone, and one Handmaiden also just gets one charged out. Oh, the other Handmaiden also routed. Oh, they got so sad that they were unable to protect the Queen, and maybe the Chad Gorbel just wins it, steals the victory. I absolutely love that, to be honest. I do think that Rider Rohan had a chance to win here, had he just been able to get a few more shots in. Especially, like, you finish that Doom Bowl a little bit earlier, and then L'Ariel and the 2 Handmaidens can potentially go 3v1 in the very late game on Gorbel. Like, even if the Handmaidens only get a couple of attack animations in, or if they're able to kind of stand at range for a while and kind of skirmish with Gorbel, I do think that Rider Rohan was in a... He gave himself, like I said, a chance to win there, just ultimately was not quite able to execute at the end, but very, very close game. Very good game to both players, regardless. Yeah. That Silverin Guard, like 1,000 damage value on a few, quite a few. Yeah, healing with them because of their spell resistance, their just overall sturdiness. I think they will have to look. I think they have better AP values and just weapon damage also than the Spearmen, so honestly a good unit to kind of grind it out and try and win through attrition. The Handmaidens also pretty good options here for sure. Kind of support anti-large heroes, fighting with support, I should say, against large targets, and then can do some skirmishing. I think that was the one place where Rider Rohan didn't quite execute that last percent to win in a game that's 99 versus 100%. You need that last percent to overcome, right? On the other hand, SCP, I mean, initially the Chariot play was absolutely beautiful. That definitely set him on the right path from the beginning. And then the Minotaurs, yeah, we got like 1,100 here. Pretty good value across the board. Of course, Gorbel, Doombull, both great job, and honestly do synergize quite well with each other. And yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of opponent knowledge too, but if you expect Rider Rohan to take like Tyrion or another Horse Lord, they're going to generally trade quite well there, especially together. I mean, Tyrion 1v1 will put a hurt on both of them, but they can definitely do stuff together. And just in general, I like the thematics of it. But yeah, what we're gonna check are some values on Silverin Guards real quick. Not the sexiest unit in the world, but they are a unit that exists. And flashiest, but they're here. They do have just more of everything that the Spearmen have, including HP. They've got expert charge defense, which against the Beastmen is something that can actually matter some. I mean, especially on the initial phases of the battle, if you have them in the front line. I mean, there, Rider Rohan chose to lead with his spears, which is understandable, just lead with the lesser value first, let them take the initial brunt of that damage, because you're still going to take damage on the charge regardless. But, I mean, a lot of Beastmen infantry units do have high charge for infantry, and just in general, I mean, their faction ability just gives them charge bonus, right? So you would expect them to be a chargy faction, so having expert charge defense generally just is a nice thing. Even, that's another reason why you see a lot of charge reflection based units, because even, regular spears and whatnot will get a little bit of benefit of just standing and fighting against charging units. But yeah, in general, Silverins, just decent armor. Let's check their AP values. 8 AP. I remember when they initially came out, I think they had quite a bit more. But yeah, versus 6 AP, so not that much more. But an overall buff to the weapon damage by 7, which high elves and a lot of elves in general, their weapon strength tends to be a little bit on the lower side than other units of a similar class. So that extra bit of weapon strength definitely helps. And then, yeah, extra base melee defense. 75 armor is also really nice. So, yeah, just a lot to like about the Silverins in that situation, especially when paired up with some nice synergistic healing. And then the Handmaidens, I don't know, I actually forgot to check. I don't think they actually had anything. So 950, they basically paid for themselves. They just needed that, again, the last little bit more to overcome the Doom Bull and the Gore Bull. And that would have been quite the victory. But instead, Pride of Rohan sending in a very noble loss and a good game to SCP and both of them, honestly. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.